Imagine waking up one day to find out the woman you loved, the woman who promised loyalty, was never really yours. Imagine discovering that while you were giving her your heart, someone else was taking her attention. The truth is, marriage doesn't always mean loyalty, and in many cases, married women become the easiest prey, not because they are bad people, but because of something far more dangerous: human nature. If you've ever felt betrayed, confused, or blindsided by a woman's sudden change, this video is for you. Because understanding this truth isn't just about relationships, it's about power, control, and protecting yourself from emotional traps. Stay with me till the end, because once you see what's really happening, you'll never look at relationships the same way again. 1. The two faces of marriage. Marriage is often seen as the ultimate symbol of love and commitment. In an ideal world, a married couple should be inseparable, supporting each other through good and bad times. Many believe that once a couple says their vows, their love is sealed forever. But reality tells a different story. While some marriages are built on honesty, trust, and deep love, others survive on secrets, lies, and hidden desires. On the outside, a couple may seem perfect, smiling in family photos and celebrating anniversaries. But behind closed doors, things may be far from what they appear. Some women enter marriage with genuine love for their husbands. They stay loyal and committed, working hard to maintain a healthy relationship. However, there are also marriages where women feel trapped, unfulfilled, or disconnected. They may have entered marriage with high hopes, but slowly realize that something is missing: excitement, passion, or a sense of freedom. This is where the second face of marriage appears. Some women start looking for emotional or physical fulfillment outside their marriage, not because they hate their husbands, but because they crave something different. They may justify it by saying, "It's just harmless fun," or "My husband doesn't make me feel special anymore." This hidden side of marriage is rarely discussed, but it exists everywhere. 2. Why married women change after marriage. Before marriage, many women act differently. They play by certain rules, being selective, making men work hard for their attention, and setting high standards. Why? Because they want to secure a strong, responsible man who will commit to them. They create an image of being hard to get, making men believe they are winning a prize. But after marriage, the game changes. The chase is over, the ring is on their finger, and the papers are signed. They no longer have to prove their worth or attract a partner. Instead, they start seeking something new: freedom, adventure, or excitement. For some women, marriage can feel like a routine. The excitement of dating fades, replaced by daily responsibilities, financial stress, and family duties. They may feel less appreciated or taken for granted. While some accept this as part of life and work on strengthening their marriage, others look outside for something thrilling. This is why some married women suddenly become more open to new experiences, even if it means stepping outside their vows. It's not always about love or dissatisfaction with their husbands. It's about escaping the ordinary and feeling desired again. The problem? These short-lived thrills often lead to more problems than solutions, creating emotional pain for everyone involved. 3. The psychology behind affairs. Affairs don't just happen randomly. There is always a deeper psychological reason behind them. For many married women, an affair is not just about physical attraction, it's about emotional needs. Over time, a marriage can lose its excitement. The passionate conversations, long dates, and deep emotional connection that once existed may fade away. Life becomes predictable. Responsibilities like bills, children, and work take over, and romance gets pushed aside. This is when some women start feeling invisible in their own homes. They don't necessarily hate their husbands, but they feel unnoticed, unappreciated, and emotionally unfulfilled. When another man comes along and makes them feel special, listens to them, compliments them, and gives them attention, they become vulnerable. It's not always about love or even lust. It's about feeling desired again. The newness of an affair brings excitement that their marriage no longer provides. It becomes an escape from reality. The thrill of secrecy and the idea of being pursued make them feel young, attractive, and wanted again. But what they often don't realize is that this temporary excitement is built on illusion. Affairs are rarely about true connection. They are about escaping boredom and responsibility. The problem? This emotional roller coaster usually ends in regret, guilt, and even destruction of families. Yet, the cycle continues because the human mind craves what it doesn't have. 4. The emotional trap for men. While affairs may start as an emotional escape for women, they can become a dangerous trap for men. Many men assume that if a married woman shows interest in them, it's because she truly likes them. They believe they have some special charm that her husband lacks. But the truth is, most of the time, it's not about the man at all. It's about what he represents. He is simply the escape, the fantasy, the thrill. She isn't looking for a new relationship. She's looking for temporary relief from the boredom or loneliness in her marriage. This is where men fall into the emotional trap. They start believing that they are different, that she will leave her husband for them. They invest their time, energy, and emotions into someone who is already committed to another man. But in most cases, the woman never actually leaves her marriage. She enjoys the excitement, but isn't willing to give up her stability. And when things get complicated, she disappears, leaving the man hurt, confused, and emotionally drained. This is why men need to be careful. Stoicism teaches that true strength comes from emotional control, not chasing temporary pleasure. If a man allows himself to be pulled into this trap, he risks losing not just his dignity, but also his peace of mind. 5. Men aren't always the hunters. Society often assumes that men are always the ones chasing women, especially when it comes to affairs. But the truth is, married women can sometimes be the ones doing the hunting. Many men think they are the ones in control, but they don't realize that they are being chosen, not the other way around. Married women who feel neglected, emotionally unfulfilled, or trapped in routine often become more open to attention from other men. They start noticing who gives them compliments, who listens to them, and who makes them feel attractive again. Some even test the waters, dropping hints, starting flirty conversations, or creating situations where the man has to make a move. And because most men aren't used to being pursued, they fall for it easily. They believe it's their charm and confidence that attracted her, but in reality, she had already made up her mind. This is why it's important for men to stay aware. Just because a married woman is showing interest doesn't mean it's genuine or long-term. In most cases, she is using the man as a temporary escape, not looking for a serious relationship. A Stoic man understands that not all attention is worth pursuing. He stays disciplined and doesn't let emotions or flattery control his decisions. 6. The role of stability and dissatisfaction. At first glance, it may seem strange that married women who have stability, a home, and a committed partner would look elsewhere. But stability can sometimes feel like a prison when there is dissatisfaction. When a marriage becomes predictable, some women feel like they are just going through the motions. They aren't necessarily unhappy, but they no longer feel alive. This dissatisfaction is often not even about the husband, it's about themselves. They may feel like they've lost their identity, their excitement for life, or their sense of adventure. This is where temptation creeps in. When another man comes along, he represents something their life lacks: spontaneity, excitement, or even just deep emotional connection. He makes them feel new emotions again, and that is where the danger lies. But here's the harsh truth. No affair, no fling, no temporary distraction will ever truly fix that inner dissatisfaction. The moment someone starts chasing feelings outside of their commitments, they lose control over themselves. And in the end, they often destroy the very stability they once took for granted. 7. Why cheating is rationalized. People don't just wake up one day and decide to cheat. Most of the time, it happens because they convince themselves that what they're doing is justified. Married women who cheat often create reasons in their minds to make their actions feel acceptable. They might say, "My husband doesn't appreciate me anymore," or "I deserve to be happy." They might even believe that as long as no one finds out, it's not hurting anyone. Some convince themselves that their marriage is already broken, so being with someone else isn't really a betrayal, it's just finding comfort. This is a dangerous mindset because it removes responsibility. Instead of facing their problems or fixing their marriage, they choose the easier path of escape. But Stoicism teaches that true strength comes from facing reality, not running from it. When people cheat, they aren't solving anything. They're only creating more problems in the long run. A Stoic man values integrity. He doesn't let his desires control him, and he doesn't get involved in situations that could lead to regret. 8. The danger of becoming too soft. Many men fall into traps because they are too soft, not in terms of being kind or emotional, but in terms of being weak-minded. They let their emotions lead them instead of their logic. When a married woman shows interest, they feel special. They ignore the warning signs, believing they have something real, when, in reality, they are just a distraction for her. A man who is too soft will allow himself to be used, manipulated, and eventually discarded. He will believe in false promises, thinking, "She will leave her husband for me," or "She really loves me." But in most cases, that never happens. The woman returns to her stable life, and the man is left feeling foolish. A Stoic man, on the other hand, is not desperate for attention. He does not need validation from a woman, especially one who is already taken. He values his own self-respect too much to be a backup option or a temporary thrill. He sees the bigger picture and understands that discipline is far more powerful than desire. 9. The illusion of simplicity. Many men believe that getting involved with a married woman is easier than pursuing a single woman. They think there's less emotional baggage, fewer expectations, and no long-term commitment. After all, she already has a husband, a home, and a life, so she won't be too needy, right? This is where men fall into a dangerous trap. What seems simple at first often becomes complicated. Married women who step outside their marriage might say things like, "I just want to have fun," or "no strings attached." But emotions don't work that way. As soon as feelings get involved, problems arise. She might start expecting more, feeling attached, or even asking a man to save her from her marriage. For a Stoic man, wisdom means seeing beyond the illusion. Nothing in life is truly simple when it involves deception and hidden emotions. Even if a situation feels easy in the beginning, it often leads to regret, conflict, and unnecessary drama. A wise man does not seek temporary pleasure at the cost of long-term peace. Instead, he controls his desires and makes choices that align with his values. 10. Lessons for men and women. Both men and women can learn valuable lessons from this. For men, the lesson is discipline and self-respect. A man who values himself does not fall for easy temptations. He does not get involved in messy situations that could damage his character. He understands that true strength is not in chasing women, but in controlling his impulses. Stoicism teaches that the greatest power a man can have is mastery over himself. For women, the lesson is honesty and responsibility. If a woman is unhappy in her marriage, the solution is not to seek attention elsewhere, it's to address the problem head-on. Stoicism teaches that running from difficulties only creates bigger problems. True virtue comes from facing reality with courage and integrity. At the end of the day, wisdom lies in seeing the truth before making decisions. What seems tempting in the moment often leads to regret later. A strong person, man or woman, chooses long-term peace over short-term pleasure.